let's get a little bit into contour lines. Contour lines show the three-dimensional character of terrain on a two-dimensional surface. Repeat, I repeated myself. If you were to walk a contour line, if you were to walk this contour line, you would never go uphill or downhill and eventually return back to where you started. That would be a nice, comfortable hike. You're not going to go up. You're not going to go down. You get to see what's on this side of the hill, 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 because you're following the contour line. The hiking, the true hiking, comes in when you go from this area here up to here. Then you're going uphill, and then it might be a little bit of a hike, and especially if you want to go clear to the top. This is I came across this when I was putting this together. This is really cool. I really like this map. This is an artist's rendition of a contour lines on the land. I don't know what the contour interval is. It could, because they give no numbers, but you'll notice it's nice and halfway comfortable walk up here like this. But the further up you get, the contour lines are closer and closer together. And as you can see, it's a steep mountain. It's the closer the contour lines, they're cliffs or they're steep mountains. Whoop, whoop. Okay, this is a topo map. It's what I call the bird's eye view, okay? This is 10, I'll say feet, 20 feet, 30 feet. The top of the mountain is 40 here. The top of the mountain is 50 here. This is a cross section of this topo map. This is the bird's eye view, and this is the profile. George Merriweather is in our group tonight, and he does absolutely beautiful. If you ever get a chance to hike with George Merriweather, when he leads hikes, he will always send you this beautiful map of where we went for the day. We might go up here, we might come down here, we might go around here like this. And then with his maps, he sends a really nice topo profile so you can see. CalTopo will give you topo profiles too. Then you know what your hike's going to be like. Okay, these are the contour lines. This is reading the contour lines. You have this peak right here, which matches up to this peak right here. You have this peak right here, which matches up to this peak right here. I like this part they have going here. This is a saddle. We'll talk about that in a minute, a saddle. This one is more of a triangular peak. You can see the top is not broad, it's not big like this one. This one you could sit and have a picnic at. This one you'd have probably great views. Okay, this one shows the same thing as this, but they're more equal. This, you can see some of this. You can go back through this PowerPoint and look at some of the contour lines and what they represent. This is a nice slope right here with a flat top. And then this is another saddle area. It's just a little more pronounced. This map right here is a really good example. A is at 700 and D is at 800. For every line you cross up, you're going up another 20. This one didn't give us the contour interval, but this is a really good example of how you can figure it out. 700, 720, 740, 760, 780, and 800. For every fifth line, it's dark, okay? Contour lines are lines of equal elevation. Every fifth line is darker. This example has a contour interval of 20 feet, 4,200 and 4,300. This represents a nice walk here. Because these lines are closer in here and in here and in here, you're going to have a steeper, on the verge of being cliff-like. So you might want to hike that. It all depends on your level of challenge you want for hiking purposes, but that's how to read contour lines. But it's not always, look at this map right here, this picture. This is 20, 600, 620, 640, 660, 680, 700. They're 20 feet apart. But little do you know, between 60 and 80, you're going to end up with a cliff, even though that's what it's saying. Read between the lines. Contour lines represent the shape of the terrain only at specific intervals. There is a cliff here, but it is showing 60 feet and 80 feet, and then 660 and 680 up to 700. Okay, a river may be drawn somewhat straight on a map, but on the ground, the actual river meanders like this, like a snake, with many curves and turns, as well as wide and narrow banks. Okay, this is a topo map exercise of South Sisters. This is, I just thought this was the coolest picture of South Sisters. I don't know if any of you guys have been up to South Sisters. It is quite a hike. It's quite a hike. You start down in here and then look at all these contour lines you hike up. It is crazy. Chuck and I, when we were dating, we went up to South Sisters with a friend, Jane Fox, and finally got up there and had a snowfield up there. And my trip was almost on the verge of being ruined, not because of this steep incline. It's because some kid, like 18 to 25-year-olds who think they're all that, was sitting on a rock right here on a cliff. And I'll never forget that kid sitting there. And I couldn't even look that direction because he ruined, I was so afraid he was going to fall off of there. And those are the kids who gets killed at the Grand Canyon most. Not kids, because mama's right on the kids. Not grandmas, because they can barely walk to the rope to see the Grand Canyon. No offense, I'm a grandma. But it's the 18 to 25-year-old boys who think they're all that. There's a place you go out to at Frenchman's Coulee. I don't know if you've ever been out there. It's a great, IMAC does a mountaineering group, and I know they go out to Frenchman Coulee a lot. There is a cliff, there's a pinnacle here, and then there's another part here with a space in between, and it's the daredevil thing to see if they can jump from this pinnacle to the mainland. It scares me to death to even think about it. Anyway, this is South Sisters. It's a great map.